everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of How to Pixelmon with TMs. Now, last time we went over some of the more damaging TMs, such as you see here, and now this time we're going to be going over some of the more special TMs. So we're going to start off by going into this empty chest here, then we're going to look in this chest here. We're going to grab these. Now, these TMs are more for protecting and defending yourself, healing yourself up and stuff like that. So we're going to start with, of course, Protect. Protect. You work with me here. Alright, it enables the user to evade all attacks. So pretty much it just stops them from hurting you for one turn. Now obviously this is just stalling, so it's not going to be incredibly effective unless you have something such as burn and poison on them. Now if you use toxic on them before you use protect, it can really annoy them because they're just sitting there getting poisoned and you're just sitting there protecting yourself, not taking any damage. It's great to put on a tanky trolley Pokemon. That's mainly what we're going to be focusing on this episode, moves that are good for those trolley Pokemon. Okay. I clicked it too many times. We're going to give it all protect. Yes, bug out. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, now we also have Substitute, which we went over previously. It takes a little chunk of your health out and makes a decoy. This will pretty much die as soon as it's hit, unless they're hitting it with like some weak moves. But it's definitely a good thing to have. I just can't do much protect on Mew. Anyway, we also have Wide Guard. Mew actually can't learn Wide Guard, but it does the same thing as Protect. So if you have a Pokemon that can learn Wide Guard instead of Protect, go ahead and do that. We also have Rest. Rest is definitely tricky, because it's going to put you to sleep, which will put you at a huge disadvantage. But it'll completely restore your health. Rest is definitely only good on a very tanky Pokemon. Like if you have this on a Snorlax, it can be good, because Snorlaxes can take some hits, and if you get lucky with Rest, you can wake up before they put all that damage back on you. It's definitely another move that you would use for stalling when they have like Toxic on them or something. Rest, most of the time, if they know what they're doing, isn't going to be beneficial to you, but it will definitely buy you some time. So let's put these all back here, and let's look at some of these status effect moves. Now we have here Attract, of course. Attract was seen in a previous episode. It will pretty much work on any Pokemon, doesn't matter what gender it is, and it'll make it so they're very unlikely to attack you. It's very good because it has 100 accuracy, so if you have an Attract TM, use this on a Pokemon that you want to just troll with, or keep them from attacking you even. It could be good on anything, but if you have, of course, you know, a status move Toxic or something on them, it'll be extra effective. We also have False Swipe here. False Swipe is, of course, another damaging move, but it's more used for just catching other Pokemon. Now, you can leave them right down to 1 HP, put this on a Scyther or something, and it'll be excellent for catching other Pokemon. It makes it so much easier. I use it myself, but you don't really want to use False Swipe in battles because it cannot kill Pokemon. So that's not a very good thing to have. We also have Swagger here. It's always good to have some swagger, but it pretty much confuses the target. Thing is, you'd probably confuse better with Confused Ray or Supersonic, because those don't sharply raise the enemy's attack stat. However, if you're using this on a special attack Pokemon or a Pokemon that's just meant to be tanky, then you don't really need to worry about increasing its physical attack. If you use this thing on an Alakazam, that Alakazam's not going to come at you with physical attacks, so you should be fine there. We also have, of course, Hail. Hail does damage over time for 5 turns. It does not affect ice Pokemon, so if you have several ice Pokemon on your team or a couple tanky ice Pokemon, use this. It'll hurt the enemy and it won't hurt you. Same goes for the next move we're going to look at, Sandstorm here. Sandstorm doesn't hurt Rock, Ground, or Steel, and it also hurts the any other type that's out on the field for the next 5 turns. So it's great if you have a couple of those kinds of Pokemon in your lineup. Then of course we have Toxic, which we mentioned earlier. Definitely the best poison move you can have, because not only does it badly poison the target, that poison gets worse every turn. Now this is an amazing counter if someone has an incredibly tanky Pokemon or something, or a healing Pokemon, because it gets worse and worse and worse. Toxic, after like, you know, 7 or 8 turns, it can one-shot a Snorlax with the Poison Tick. So it's definitely a great move to have. If you have a Pokemon that's meant to be tanky, I highly advise to have Toxic on it. We also have Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp is pretty much just a move to instantly burn the target, and it'll do burn damage on it. Very similar to Poison. except, you know, it's fire damage instead. So we also have Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is definitely one of my favorite status effect moves because, well, although it can't hit ground type, it can hit everything else with 100% accuracy, and it automatically paralyzes them. Now, Pixelmon paralyzes very good because it's a 50-50 chance that they'll get through it and it'll stay on them for the whole time. And honestly, some people just have luck and it just pretty much makes it so they can't attack you for a very long time. So it's definitely good if you want to lower the amount of damage put down on you. So let's go into this chest here. Oh, that's a different chest. Let's put these here. Okay, now we want to look at the stat affecting moves we have here. Let's take a look at Flash. Flash will, of course, lower the enemy's accuracy. If you use this a bunch of times, it'll make it so that enemy can't hit you very well, can it? Now we also have Bulk Up. Bulk Up will tense the muscles in the body. It increases your attack and defense. If you need increased attack power and you're just sitting there waiting, might as well use it. Thing is, this isn't going to be effective in most situations, but if they're just trolling you, here's what you do. You just sit there, okay, if you want to sit there healing yourself, I'm going to increase my attack so many times that I will just one-hit you. And the same goes for, let's see, Calm Mind. It's pretty much the same exact thing, except it increases your special attack. So you can use that for the exact same reasons. We also have Work Up. Work Up increases the physical attack and special attack. So it's also a good move to have. Hone Claws, which was actually used very well against me one time. I was sitting there using the Sand attack to lower their accuracy, and they were using Hone Claws to increase their attack and accuracy, so they were canceling mine out while increasing their own attack. So it's just a good counter to have entirely on that aspect. We also have Rock Polish, which will increase the speed stat of the Pokemon. I really don't like moves that increase your speed stat, because speed, the only advantage is getting one attack in before the other Pokemon. Now, if you use a move that increases your speed stat, then you're already completely ruining the whole reason of having speed. So I don't really like it, but if you're going against a Pokemon that's not doing anything to you, you can use that and be more effective against the rest of the trainer's Pokemon and potentially give yourself a win like that. We also have Light Screen. Light Screen pretty much cuts damage from special attack, and it does work very effectively. Thing is, you need to know what your enemy is going to be using against you. If it's, you know, something that's definitely going to be using special attack, Light Screen will be pretty good, especially if you have a Pokemon that was going to tank some hits anyway. Same goes for, ooh, I don't seem to have that TM here, but Reflect. We'll do it with physical damage, so don't really need to pull that out. We also have Swords Dance. Swords Dance will increase your attack stat by a lot, so definitely a great move to have. That's also been used well against me. I like having Pokemon that sit there and troll the enemy for a little bit, and when you use the stat-raising moves, it's definitely a perfect counter to that. I think it's really good to have one Pokemon with stat-raising moves on your team. It's just a great thing to have in case an enemy, you know, tries to do something too tricky. Anyway, we also have Psych Up, which user hypnotizes into copying any stat change made by the target. It's really not that effective because they're not very often going to use stat changes against you, and if you have a move devoted to them doing that, it's very rare that it's all going to add up that you'll actually get to effectively use that move, so I would not advise using that one. Anyway, let's put these back and look at the final aspect of this TM aspect, which is in fact HMs, which were recently introduced in 3.0. So let's take a look at them here. We have Cut, which will do 50 damage, 95 accuracy, normal move. Not very strong, but it can cut down thin trees. No, don't worry about that. The HMs don't really do anything special in this. They are just pretty much other TMs, and they do use themselves up after you use them. They're not permanent like they are in regular Pokemon games. Fly, however, is a very good one because it does 90 power and 95 accuracy as a physical flying move. This is definitely going to be the best flying TM/HM in the game, just because it has more power than all the other ones. All the other ones are pretty much around 60, and you can't really get away from that. Fly, in fact, does get away from that, and you fly it for one turn, and then they pretty much can't touch you, except I think someone said Sky Uppercut was working. It didn't work for me, but I guess that's a little tricky. It might work, might not, but then you come down and hit very hard. Disadvantage of that, of course, is they can switch to a rock Pokemon. You're not going to do as much damage, but Fly is slightly broken right now, because if you miss, you'll continue to fly around in the air until you hit them. So it's not like game breaking because it's only 95 accuracy. Chances are you're not going to miss anyway, but it is a little broken, so it's still a good move entirely. Now Surf. Surf is really good when it comes to water moves because it does more damage than Scald, which was the only damaging water move before. It does 95 power and 100 accuracy, very solid. Pretty much the same as Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, all of them, except it is water damage. So that's very good to have. What else do we have? We have Strength. Strength actually does a little bit more normal damage. Not a bad move to have on a normal type Pokemon. It does 80 power. With a stab, it'll do 120. If you're going to use it for that aspect, not a bad call. I wouldn't suggest using this on any other Pokemon, though, because Normal's obviously not super effective against anything. We also have Rock Smash. Interesting enough, Rock Smash is both a TM and an HM in Pixelmon. So it's going to do the exact same thing before. In last episode, I advised you not to use it. I will do the same in this one. We also have Defog. Defog doesn't work in Pixelmon at all. It's not just Mew that can't learn it. I tested Pokemon that said they could learn it, and it cannot, so let's not worry about that. Now we also have Waterfall. Waterfall is actually a physical water move, so this will be very good on Pokemon such as like Gyarados and Sharpedo, which do physical damage, does 80 power, 100 accuracy. And of course it can't make them flinch because that's not in Pixelmon yet. But once it does, it'll be a very good thing. We also have Whirlpool. Doesn't work. Rock Climb. Doesn't work. And Dive. Dive is also a very good water move. Having the HMs in the game pretty much just makes it so there's more options for putting water moves on your Pokemon. Now this does pretty much the same thing as Fly, except it goes down in the ocean and pops up and hits them. So obviously they can switch onto a grass Pokemon and it won't do as much. But if you don't have any of the other moves, if you don't have like Waterfall, this is the next best way to go. So I guess that's going to be all the HMs, and I believe we have went over every single TM/HM in Pixelmon. So next episode we're going to be going back to training some of the Pokemon and seeing how we can make them better and more effective on your team, and of course using these beautiful TMs and HMs that we have been going over so much. So thank you everyone for watching, and instead of, doing a whole comment to get which one of these you want this episode, we're going to do something extra special. All the TMs in all these chests here, they're in this random location here, which no one really knows about. But if you would like these TMs, every last one of them, find the location. Just go to that location, and it's all yours. But thing is, I'm not telling you where it is. It's a treasure hunt. So have fun looking for that. I'll just tell you it's not right around spawn, so you might need to do a little bit of searching. But there might be clues in, say, the live streams or the other episodes to where that is. So you might want to keep an eye on that. Otherwise, thank you all, everyone for watching. It's definitely been a blast with this TMs and not just a focus blast. But leave a like if you have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!